his plans, there were about 4 million enslaved people in the United States at this time.
Right.
He knew that he could not free 4 million people.
No.
What his plan was he wanted to make it so the slave economy collapsed, therefore making it not profitable anymore, therefore making it so the institution would crumble.
Not a bad plan.
But he wanted to use fear
Right.
to do that, and violence and intimidation. Welcome to Ill-Equipped History, where two best friends tell you about a very interesting character in their actions from history. I'm Morgan, and I'm joined by Emily, my lovely, beautiful best friend slash co-host.
You're too flattering. Oh my god.
Yes, and I always will be. And guess what? I mean every word of it.
Oh, you're too good to me. Are you drinking a Mick Ultra?
It's 0 proof.
Oh, I was about to be like, I didn't know we were on that today.
No, it's there's no alcohol in it. I just needed something to wet my palate. And it was quick.
Listen. Some days I wish I broke my no drinking during the week rule. So, I wasn't going to judge.
Yeah. No, today was the first day was kids back.
Really? Today was?
Mm-hmm.
This was my kids' third day of school.
Oh, interesting.
They went back for a half day last Friday. And then it started full yesterday. Yeah.
I don't know.
But how was it?
It was, I mean, I didn't hear about any emergencies at the location I was at. I got a lot of emails about, hey, hello, help. And I was like, I'm not there. Sorry, I can't help.
Sorry.
I'm somewhere else.
That's great.
You'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I've already got a message from my son's teacher, and I was like, oh no, what is this? And it was just her saying how sweet he is.
Oh, he is so sweet.
He literally got off the bus the first day of school, and he ran through the yard, and he went, Mom, my teacher, she's so nice.
Oh.
I was like, I know, I met her. She's so great.
Oh, he's so sweet.
The sweetest.
He be wildin', but he's sweet.
Yeah. We had some discussions about a few other things, but most of it was just like, I love him in my class. He's so sweet. Oh my God.
Oh.
That's all I want.
What about your daughter's teacher? Is she like, where did she come from? What pit did she crawl out of?
She cracked me up the other day. We went to the Meet the Teacher thing, and she got teacher from last year.
Okay.
She's followed in my son's footsteps every year. So every year she gets old teacher. So it makes my life easier because I already have a rapport with this woman, with these people. And her teacher said, so are you a helper like your brother was last year, like your brother is? And she got really quiet and shy. And she kind of went like, and went, no, not really. She went sometimes. And I thought her teacher was going to, because I just wish y'all could see her face when she was just like helping. Ugh.
Nah.
She also told me the other day, she was asking me about my wedding ring. And she said, so do you like get new ones of those? Well, she was just asking lots of questions, and we were answering the questions. And she said, okay. And I said, yeah, you'll get one of these when someone asks you to marry them. And you can say yes or no. It's your choice. And she said, well, I'm going to tell no to everyone except the really rich boy. And I don't know where that came from. I promise we don't we don't, make money a priority, but the girl is just destined for a mansion. I don't know how she's going to get it.
Wealth and power are her lots in life.
We're like, be a lawyer, I guess, because we can't give you this stuff. Oh, and she'd be really good at arguing. So, be a lawyer. Have at it.
Yeah, you can get paid the big bucks to argue.
I could see her being a really good divorce lawyer because she'd get to be in the middle of all the tea. She's very nosy. Anyway. Should we do the thing? I'm very tired.
Yeah, no, let's pop in. I got, not a doozy, but it's wacky. It's crazy. It kind of is a doozy, for y'all today.
Okay. All right, men, we're clear on what to do. Yes?
Yes, sir.
It's been an honor serving with you men. Remember your training and give the enemy no quarter. They will have to pay for their sins in blood. Get 'em. All right. You men go to the train station. You go to the square. Capture as many hostages as you can. Myself and the rest of us will go to the armory.
Sir, quick question. What happens if no one joins us? What'll he do if we're on our own?
Don't be ridiculous. Once they know we're here to dismantle slavery, they'll be joining us by the hundreds. There's no way they'll sit by. I have a feeling they're going to sit by. Was there some subtle foreshadowing going on?
Just a touch.
I have no idea what's going on.
We're talking, you remember when you covered Cassius Clay like a couple years ago?
Yeah.
We've got another militant abolitionist.
Oh, some of my favorite people.
Another very complicated person.
I love complicated men. Did him and Cassius cross paths?
I have no idea. I read many articles and Cassius Clay was never brought up. Okay. But that does not mean that they didn't go to a coffee shop together, right, or pass each other in the street or attend a rally together.
I just feel like John Brown was so a familiar name, and I'm I don't know if it's familiar because it's John Brown, it's a very common name, or I was remembering it from the Cassius Clay episode. So, okay, that's fine.
He may have been inspired by John Brown because John Brown inspired a lot of people. Our episode today is about John Brown, the abolitionist.
Yay!
He was born May 9th, 1800 in Torrington, Connecticut to Owen and Ruth Mills Brown. His father was a tanner, and he had a pretty large family with 7 siblings. The family was very devout and very anti-slavery from the jump. And I believe one source mentioned that John Brown was Calvinist. I don't know if that was also his family, but it influenced a lot of his behaviors.
Okay.
When he was 5, they moved to Hudson, Ohio, and they lived in a community that was also very anti-slavery. He grew up with a lot of like-minded people. Mm-hmm. His parents were also very active with the Underground Railroad, which, if you want more information about that, Emily covered the Underground Railroad and Harriet Tubman back in February. So
yes,
go listen to that episode. John Brown's childhood home was actually a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Cool.
And was a safe house. His father, Owen, was a major conductor in Ohio. Owen Brown was a very successful man, especially with his tannery, and he was very central to the community. He helped found the Western Reserve College and Oberlin College, and actually one of his apprentices at his tannery was Jesse Root Grant, who was the father of Ulysses S. Grant.
No shit.
Yeah. Small world.
Yes.
So, moving up a few years during the War of 1812, when John Brown is 12, Owen Brown, his father, was a cattle contractor for the U.S. military. So, John was doing a cattle drive for his father and going through Michigan, which I guess, had enslaved people. Western territories were a little loosey-goosey with that.
Yeah.
And he was staying at the home of someone. And while he was there, he witnessed the horrific, brutal beating of a young enslaved boy about his age, which again was 12. He saw this grown-ass man beat this 12-year-old boy with a shovel. And then that man made this boy sleep outside in the cold.
Oh.
And this was not the first time that John Brown would become radicalized, but this started him on his journey to be vehemently anti-slavery.
Yeah.
Changed his life. John was not very educated. He wasn't a very good student. He didn't really care about school, but he did receive a lot of quality training at the tannery that his father owned. And even though he wasn't the best student, he did try to, go on and get a career. So he went to study ministry. He went to a couple different schools, was having a hard time, and then he ended up developing like a really bad inflammation in his eyes.
Oh.
And then he ran out of money, so he had to go home. And all this happened when he was like 16.
Jesus.
So he comes back, and in 1819, when he's about 19, he and his brother open their own tannery business. And because they're so busy with this business, they hire a woman named Mary Lusk as a housekeeper. And John fell in love with Mary's daughter, Dianthe, who's also about 19.
Dianthe is a hell of a name.
I know.
What a great
I assume
name.
that's how it's pronounced. It's Dianthe. So I assume it's Dianthe.
I think so.
They fell in love. They got married around 1821. And the following year, they had their first child, John Jr.
Okay.
A few years later, in 1825, the family moves to Pennsylvania, and he opens up another tannery while there and also becomes the postmaster.
Oh,
they
double
lived there.
life. I love it.
I know.
He's
They lived there
busy.
for a few years, but his businesses started not doing very well. His finances started to plummet, and unfortunately, in August of 1832, Dianthe died after giving birth to their 7th child.
One, that's a lot of kids. Holy shit. 2, oh no.
That's so sad. And he had actually lost 2 of his children. Because I think they had 7 total. And 2 of his children did not make it to adulthood with Dianthe. After he loses Dianthe, he returns to Ohio in modern-day Kent. And he opens a new business, a new tannery. And less than a year later, he marries 16-year-old Mary Ann Day.
Oh.
On July 11th, 1833.
Oh.
Yeah. They remained married until his death, and together they had 13 children.
Holy.
6 of whom made it to adulthood.
Oh.
Yeah. So in total, between the 2 marriages, John had 20 children, 11 of whom survived to adulthood.
Oh, that's rough.
That's so sad. So they have a very big family, and they are about to move a lot. And they are moving with John everywhere he goes. So while in Ohio, he becomes a land speculator. Like, he's doing his tannery thing, and he's also trying to do more side businesses. So he becomes a land speculator, tries to build a canal, tries to farm. All of these fail. Mm-hmm. He tried. At one point, he even, tried a little bit later, he tried to, sell wool and even went to England, and it was a whole thing, but...
Oh.
He allegedly had at least 15 failed businesses.
Good Lord.
He was really struggling. What didn't help is in 1837, there was a big recession called the Panic of 1837, and he lost almost everything, and he had a lot of debt, and creditors were breathing down his neck, so he had to declare bankruptcy in 1842. Then a few years later, in 1846, they moved to Massachusetts. He set up that wool brokerage, tried to go to England to figure out how to sell wool. That also failed. So he's in Springfield, Massachusetts. He's in New England, and he starts meeting other abolitionists, maybe a little bit more radicalization is going on with his very anti-slavery views. He was very passionate about fighting for Black freedom from very young age. I also saw that all of his financial failures may have also radicalized him a little bit. He just, everything that this man goes through and experiences continues to radicalize him even more.
Okay.
In 1837, he was actually expelled from a church congregation when he tried to swap his family with a Black family that was forced to sit in the back. So he made his family go to the back and then try to get a Black family to sit in his pew in the front. And then he was kicked out of the church because it was segregated.
Yeah.
And the tannery he had in Pennsylvania was also actually had a secret room to hide people who were on the Underground Railroad.
I want to say something. When you said something about the Underground Railroad, I actually have this book sitting here.
Okay.
He's in this book.
Oh, I'm sure.
So maybe that's where I was picking up his name from, but that's really cool.
He met Harriet Tubman. They knew each other.
That's cool.
I'll get into it in a little bit, but he called her General Tubman.
I love
which
it.
I love. So a researcher named Stephen B. Oates, I was reading this on worldhistory.org, said that despite all of these qualities in John Brown, where he was very staunchly anti-slavery, anti-racist, he was, quote, arrogant and contentious, told lies, and acquired other bad habits he would never talk about. Which I don't know what these bad habits were, because he was against anything fun. He did not drink. He did not dance. He did not play cards. He didn't even eat very seasoned food. What I was reading this website, and it said what he did for entertainment was he read either a pro-abolition book or the Bible to his wife and her mother. That was
good Lord.
He was all work and no play. And honestly, this man did not have time for hobbies because he was so busy trying to work and also work the Underground Railroad. He didn't really have time for anything else. And he also didn't really respond well to authority, which is probably why he had a hard time with maintaining jobs and doing businesses and stuff. But he also helped people who were in poverty. He helped defend land rights for Native Americans. And in his words, he tried to be a better father to his children than his own father was.
Okay. But
he was still extremely strict and authoritarian.
Yeah.
Just not likable.
Yeah.
He also would badger people about regularly attending church and making sure they also didn't engage in frivolous activities. So not only did he not do it, but he also didn't want other people to do it because he said that was dumb.
I bet childhood with this man was a nightmare.
Yeah. So another quote from Oates, quote, when Brown was not punishing his children, he was lecturing them to live by the golden rule and to abhor all forms of human wickedness, not only lies and disobedience, but immorality, laziness, hunting, and fishing, which promoted laziness and slavery.
How does hunting and fishing promote laziness?
Because at least with hunting and fishing, you have to sit and wait. I guess he thought that was being lazy.
But you're feeding your family.
Kill a cow, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, man. John, you're a little too serious for me.
He's complicated. Yeah. No,
Listen, Cassius might be on the same road, but it's bumpier.
Yeah.
He was doing some shit.
Yeah. He was. John Brown was a little bit more
the straight and
narrow until things get real wild.
Okay.
So in 1849, 1850, they relocate to what he calls Timbuktu. It's actually North Elba, upstate New York.
Okay.
There's a man up there named Garrett Smith. He was an abolitionist and philanthropist. And he was gifting land to black farmers just to have. It was 50 acres, I think, per farmer. And them owning land or owning a house allowed them to vote.
Okay.
So he was just giving land away. John Brown hears about this and he's like, hey, I want to be a part of this community. So he purchased land from Garrett Smith. This is all near like Lake Placid. He purchased 244 acres for $244.
What a steal.
Which today is about $10,000, a little over $10,500.
That's a steal.
He got a really good deal. And he really got into this community. He went straight to his black neighbors, helped show them how to clear land, because it's very forested up here.
Yes.
This wasn't farmland. Like, they had to clear it to make farms. Showed them how to build cabins, showed them how to like be self-sufficient, survive on their own. And it was just a really active part. And it seems like everything was going well for him while he was here. And I didn't see anything about his neighbors loving him or hating him. So maybe like everything was fine. And I think you talked about this too, Emily, when you talked about Harriet Tubman. But there was this law that was passed called the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850.
Yes.
Which basically said that if you were caught helping slaves escape to freedom, you would be severely punished. Mm-hmm. And so in response to this, he formed the League of Gileadites.
What a name.
I know. Which was a group of people that were assisting people escaping slavery to Canada. Okay. So he was like, fuck you, U.S. government. I'm going to keep helping enslaved people escape.
Yeah.
Also, at some point, he met Sojourner Truth. I couldn't find when. I couldn't find how. But he met several, like, really big names of the Black Abolitionist movement.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so this is, like, where things start to get crazy. Meanwhile, Americans are rushing to settle the newly purchased Louisiana territory. Especially around Kansas and Nebraska. So on May 30th, 1854, President Franklin Pierce signed the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which put forth the idea, and like the law of the land was popular sovereignty, which was because it's basically like Nebraska, Kansas. Nebraska was basically a free state. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are like, well, that means Kansas should be a slave-owning state. And a lot of abolitionists are like, no, there shouldn't be any slavery in Kansas either. So there's a lot of back and forth bickering. Mm-hmm. So this Popular Sovereignty Act, this law, basically said that the citizens of a territory in like any kind of grouping could decide if they wanted slavery or not in like their own little territory, town, whatever, in Kansas. People who supported the bill was like, oh, this will help people like kind of figure things out on their own, help settle disputes, let people live the way they want to in their own little respective communities. What actually happened were very violent conflicts. Yeah. As people came to blows over slavery.
Yeah.
And it was so divisive to the point that Kansas had two different capitals.
Oh.
The pro-slavery capital of Lecompton and the free state capital of Lawrence. They had their own governments, they had their own constitutions, like they were very different. So 5 of John's sons, Owen, Fredericks, Salmon, as in the fish, salmon.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, poor kid.
Jason and John Jr., who is his oldest son, they all went to Kansas to settle land along the Osawatomie River.
Salmon will fit right in.
I know. Well, and they were active abolitionists. All of John Brown's children were very active abolitionists. So they spent some time there, and they contact their father saying, hey, there's a lot of very pro-slavery settlers, and we're kind of worried that they're going to attack us. So John Brown goes down with a shit ton of weapons and settles in with his sons. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, this will be a really great opportunity for me to push my belief that Kansas should not have slavery. Let's let it be an anti-slavery Union state. So he's trying to persuade people to his side, and I saw that he ended up collecting a guerrilla group of abolitionists.
Okay.
In Osawatomie. In 1856, May 21st, 1856, Lawrence is attacked by a group of pro-slavery people. Razed to the ground, basically. It was very bloody, very violent. And very shortly after this, pro-slavery Senator Preston Brooks, who's a Democrat from South Carolina, attacked Senator Charles Sumner, who's a Republican from Massachusetts, and was also an abolitionist, beat the shit out of him with a cane in the U.S. Senate chamber.
Oh, shit.
So, between this attack on Lawrence and the attack on Senator Sumner, John Brown says, enough is enough. We must have revenge.
Yeah.
So he retaliates, and I saw he retaliated against the Potawatomi Rifles, which I guess is a pro-slavery group. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But on May 24th, just 3 days later, he and a group of men raid a settlement full of who they believe are pro-slavery people. I didn't see if they were or not. They just believed they were.
Okay.
And 4 of his sons were in this group. They raid the homes of 3 families, drag out 5 men and boys who are not armed, and hack them to death with swords.
My God. What? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
That's too much.
And this became known as the Potawatomi Massacre.
Oh, shit.
Continuing to increase the violence that Kansas is experiencing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, things get real wild here. So, some abolitionists, after this event, some abolitionists support his call to action. Not necessarily condone the violence, but they say he took charge, he followed his beliefs, he did what he thought was right. Meanwhile, this endorses the belief that Southerners have that Northerners are just violent, brutal killers who are out to get them.
Right.
Continuing to sow divide between the North and the South.
Violence never fixes anything.
Yeah. So a few months later, in August 30th, 1856, John W. Reed of Missouri, who was a slave owner, attacked the Osawatomie settlement and killed John's son, Frederick. Oh. And this became known as the Battle of Osawatomie, where Brown and his group faced off against Reed and his group. Eventually, Brown had to retreat and the Osawatomie settlement was burned. So for the next few years, Brown stayed in Kansas. 2 of his sons were eventually captured by pro-slavery settlers. At one point, he and his group raid a plantation in Missouri, kill the enslaver, free 11 enslaved people, and help lead them to freedom to Canada in 1858. They covered 1,500 miles in 82 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Support the getting them out. I'm going to give them that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just so much violence.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was back then. Everything was violent.
Yeah.
But
which is very interesting because so many abolitionists were pacifists, you know? Yeah. Like a lot of, I think you talked about the Quakers in your episode, and most Quakers were abolitionists, and they're very pacifistic. And then you get people like John Brown, Cassius Clay, who are also abolitionists, and they are the opposite of pacifists.
But also ready to throw hands at any given moment.
Militant.
Yes.
They will shoot you.
Cassius made a freaking newspaper printing office into basically a fort. Like, he was ready.
He had a cannon. I will never get over the cannon.
And he armed it with one man. Like, he made it to where he could shoot people in a hallway. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That one was crazy. But you know what? You've always got a couple of people who are like, we're going to fight. And by fight, I mean literally, they're about to catch these hands.
Yeah. I'm going to kill people to try to save people. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Stouffer, who's a Harvard historian and author, said this. I got this from Smithsonian Magazine. Quote, Brown was thought mad because he crossed the line of permissible dissent. He was willing to sacrifice his life for the cause of blacks, and for this, in a culture that was simply marinated in racism, he was called mad.
Oh.
And he treated black people with respect, from what I saw. He used Mr. and Mrs. when speaking to black people, which was not very common. Yeah. Him and his wife actually adopted a black boy and raised him. They helped give land to fugitives seeking freedom. And he helped finance David Walker's appeal essay and Henry Highland's Call to Rebellion speech publications.
Wow.
So, I mean, he didn't just, throw hands. Like, his actions also showed how supportive he was of the abolitionist movement.
Right.
And really, his plan was he wanted, because he knew that, because there were about 4 million enslaved people in the United States at this time.
Right.
He knew that he could not free 4 million people.
No.
What his plan was he wanted to make it so the slave economy collapsed, therefore making it not profitable anymore, therefore making it so the institution would crumble.
Not a bad plan.
But he wanted to use fear.
Right.
To do that. And violence and intimidation. And this was a while back, but part of what really radicalized him, this was back in 1837. There was a minister and abolitionist named Elijah Parrish Lovejoy. Mm-hmm. And he was brutally murdered in Illinois by a pro-slavery mob from Missouri. And this was he had a lot of straws, but this was like the big straw that broke. And there, at Lovejoy's, there's a memorial service for him. And he just kind of snapped while in the church, and he stood up in the middle of the service and said, quote, "Here before God in the presence of these witnesses from this time, I consecrate my life to the destruction of slavery."
That's a strong word, sir. Destruction.
Yeah.
Destruction. He was literally out for blood at this point.
Yes. He does later meet Frederick Douglass, but this is what Douglass had to say about Brown. I got this from pbs.org. Quote, "Though a white gentleman, Brown is in sympathy a black man, and as deeply interested in our cause as though his own soul had been pierced with the iron of slavery."
Damn. He was in it.
Yes. So, and if you were an enslaver or a government official who supported enslavers, you're gonna...
Catch me outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So between 1857, 1859, he spends 2 years traveling around New England, raising money, advocating for his cause to defeat slavery. Mm-hmm. And between January and March of 1857, he had fundraised enough to, and I'll get into his donors in a little bit, but he had fundraised enough to manufacture 1,000 pikes to disperse to enslaved people who wanted to join in on his soon-to-be rebellion, because he wanted to start a slave rebellion.
Okay.
So he visited Frederick Douglass in January of 1858 and spent several weeks with him trying to convince Douglass to join his cause. He wanted to leave a slave revolt, and Douglass did not agree. He said this was an act of suicide. Because Frederick Douglass was very acquainted with how the white man reacted to black men, black slaves trying to escape slavery. But he did admire John Brown for his tenacity. I got this quote from American History Central from Douglass, quote, "Had some men made such display of rigid virtue, I should have rejected it as affected false or hypocritical. But in John Brown, I felt it to be as real as iron or granite."
Oh, he knew he was about that. He
Yes.
was like, I know you're telling this, you are going to do this. Like, you are wanting this.
Yes. Brown told Douglass that when I strike, the bees will swarm. Meaning the enslaved people will rise up to join his rebellion. So he's traveling all over the place. I think the rest of his family are either still in Kansas or New York. So he's just bebopping around like the northeastern US. At some point he gets to Canada. And on May 8th of 1858, he's with a group of 12 white and 34 black people in this area in Chatham, Ontario. And they approve a constitution for a republic. He wanted to set up this system in the Appalachian Mountains in Maryland and Virginia that would be a haven for escaped enslaved people. It's like Underground Railroad on steroids. Like, he wanted this to be like tunnels in the mountains that people could use. He wanted this to be like a real tangible, like, community. Like, it reminds me of like a fantasy series where they like are living under the mountains, you know,
Gotcha.
like,
yeah,
like a cave system. So that was his plan, and these people supported him. They all agreed to this constitution, and he was elected as commander-in-chief of this new government that they formed. He was also supported by several very wealthy abolitionists, including Gerrit Smith, who had the land, Samuel Gridley Howe, Franklin Benjamin Sanborn, George L. Stearns, Thomas Wentworth Higginson, and Theodore Parker. These men were known as the Secret Six.
What a badass name, the Secret Six?
The Secret Six. This group of wealthy abolitionists that funded John Brown's cause.
They sound like a spy ring, or like
they
Charlie's Angels or something.
There's a comic in the Spider-Man universe. There's a villain organization called the Sinister Six, and that's all I can think of.
Oh my god, it's like the Fantastic Four, but like
the Sinister Six.
The
Secret Six.
Ooh.
And it was so, like, and these men came from all kinds of different walks of life. Like, I think a couple were, like, ministers. Some were, like, very wealthy businessmen. They just came from all over. So he's continuing to talk to people, advocate for his cause, raise money, gather weapons. And that year in 1858, Kansas actually voted to become a free state. So slavery was not allowed in Kansas. So again, Brown's running around. He is trying to help people escape to freedom. And he meets Harriet Tubman. Who he called General Tubman. They got along really great. Unlike Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman actually supported John Brown's plan for a big revolt or rebellion.
Yeah.
And she actually helped him plan this later attack.
Right.
Which he did think that she would help with, and she did not, because she was like, actually, I don't know if this is a good idea. But they did agree on something, that for slavery to end, the U.S. would have to be, quote, purged by blood.
Wow.
So with Harriet Tubman's support, he moves on with his plan.
Okay.
So in 1859, John Brown and 21 other people, 16 of whom are white, 5 of whom are black, and he rents a farmhouse in Maryland across the Potomac River from a place called Harper's Ferry Federal Armory. Okay. And he rents his house under an alias named Isaac something. I don't know. Isaac Smith. So they spend the next couple months training on different military maneuvers. This attack will be on the Harper's Ferry Armory.
Okay.
The plan is to storm it, seize the weapons, disperse it to the enslaved people in the area.
So like the Battle of Athens.
Yes, but
bigger,
a little
scale.
different.
Yes.
So their plan, they would attack this arsenal, people would rise up, they would go to the mountains, start their little commune, right. Do guerrilla warfare, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So there were, in Harper's Ferry, which was like a town, it was a community, there were about 3,000 white people and 300 black people, about evenly divided between enslaved and free. And there were more than 18,000 enslaved people in the county surrounding Harper's Ferry.
Okay.
So John Brown figured that once they started, plenty of people would join arms with them. So on October 16th, 1859, they start by capturing Colonel Lewis Washington, who was the great-grandnephew of George Washington.
Oh.
The Washington family had continued to enslave people. So they captured him, took him as hostage. And Owen Brown, who's John's son, led this charge. Meanwhile, John, with another group, goes to Harper's Ferry, they begin trying to seize weapons and take hostages. And they actually, as they're at the station, because this isn't just like a building. There's a forge, there's stables, there's an engine house, there's a train station. So a train comes in, and it was outbound for DC. They stop the train, and they're like, "We're capturing this armory." Don't know why. And this is so sad. The very first casualty of this raid was a free black man who was a baggage handler on the train, who I saw they either confused for a white man or he wouldn't listen to them. His name was Hayward Shepherd, and he was shot and killed.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. So John Brown lets the train go.
Yeah.
And, of course, the conductor notifies authorities, which will be important in a little bit. So they capture the armory. They have hostages. They have guns. They're causing a ruckus, freaking people out. A man is dead. Rumors around Harper's Ferry start flying. The number of men suspected increase. He had 21 men, by the way. I don't think I mentioned this. There were 21 men and him, so 22 total. People were saying there were 1,500 men storming this fort. Yeah.
Oh, the rumor mill.
Yes. And John Brown thought that he was going to have upwards of like 5,000 enslaved people responding to his call, responding to the attack, and joining arms with him. But barely anyone showed up.
Oh, no.
I didn't see exact numbers, but everything was like a handful. So I'm expecting like less than 10.
Right.
But again, no actual numbers. So no one, the people, the backups that they were expecting did not back them up.
Right.
So early in the morning on October 17th, the people of Harper's Ferry responded, raised a local militia, and began fighting back, including capturing a bridge, which cut off Brown's men from retreating.
Okay.
And now a shootout is going on.
Right.
The first of the raiders killed was a black man. He was a formerly enslaved man named Dangerfield Newby, which is an incredible name.
Dangerfield Newby.
And this is so sad, but I just needed to include it. So he was the first raider killed, like I said, around 10 a.m. on October 17th. And there was a letter in his pocket from his wife that said, quote, "It is said master is in want of money. I know not what time he may sell me, and then all my bright hopes of the future are blasted. For there has been one bright hope to cheer me in all my troubles, and that is to be with you." He just wanted a better life for him and his family, and he wanted to get a job to have enough money to buy her out of slavery. It's so sad.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. So the shooting is going on, and the raiders are stuck. So they send out William Thompson, who tries to call for a ceasefire, but he's taken and is put in a hotel called the Galt House. By now, militiamen from the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company, which is the railroad that runs through, and they attacked the train, they join the citizens fighting against John Brown and his group. This causes Brown and the other men to run and barricade themselves inside the engine house, which would become known as John's Fort.
Okay.
And during this conflict, 8 railroadmen died. So they tried again to surrender. Brown sent out Watson Brown, his son, and Aaron Stevens. Watson was shot and mortally wounded, but he crawled back into the firehouse. Aaron was shot, survived, and was arrested. Then more of the Brown's group tried to run. 2 men named John Kagi and Lewis Leary were shot attempting to cross the Shenandoah River. John Copeland was a black student attending Oberlin College who had attempted to escape. He made it to a rock in the middle of the river and then surrendered. So I guess he was captured. A man named William Lehman tried to flee down the Potomac River, but he got stranded, and when he tried to surrender, he was shot and killed.
God. It's a massacre.
It's awful. So many people are dying. So more back and forth firing, and 3 townspeople end up being killed, including the mayor of Harper's Ferry, Fontaine Beckham. And when Fontaine was killed, a very angry mob stormed the Galt House where William Thompson was being held. They dragged him out by the railroad, shot him in the head, and threw him into the river. It's so violent.
Holy shit.
So throughout the day of the 17th, Brown and the surviving militiamen, who are dwindling by the hour, are continuing to defend themselves. Meanwhile, the conductor on the train that they had captured sends word to DC, says, hey, there's a shootout at Harper's Ferry, you gotta go respond. So President Buchanan orders the Marines out to Harper's Ferry, and you will not believe who was the commanding officer of the Marines.
Oh, who?
Brevet Colonel Robert E. Lee.
No shit. Is every important figure in the story?
Basically.
What? What?
Robert E. Lee was the responding Marine leading this group of 90 Marines to Harper's Ferry.
Oh my God.
I shat myself a little bit when I saw that. I was like, no shit.
No shit. Oh my God.
They get there. They are doing stuff back and forth. Lee sends one of his men out to get them to surrender. Brown says, just let us leave. They say no, and he was like, well, we don't have an agreement. Then he says, like, I could have just shot this guy, but he didn't. He goes back into the engine house, refusing to surrender. So Lee and the Marines swarm the armory. I saw a couple conflicting things. I saw that they captured all the hostages and the abolitionists with no further casualties. Mm-hmm. I also saw that 2 men, Jeremiah Anderson and Dothan Thompson, were stabbed and maybe killed by bayonets.
That's a big swing there.
It is a big swing. But from what the hostages did survive. But I also saw there was 60, and I also saw there was 11. So I don't know how many hostages there were.
That also swings really big.
Yes, I don't think there were 60 hostages. Or maybe at one point there were, and then they ended with 11.
Right.
There weren't many hostages in the engine house when this all ended.
Gotcha.
Osborne, Anderson, and Albert Hazlitt managed to escape, but Hazlitt was later caught. And there were, I didn't mention this, but one of John Brown's sons and 2 other men were stationed with guarding weapons at a different location, but a couple of them were caught. I think Owen stayed behind and he wasn't captured. So in all, 10 of Brown's men died, including 2 of his sons.
Oh God. And he already lost the one.
I know. And 7 of the remaining men were captured. And all of those who had been captured were sentenced to death, which I'll get into in a second. Again, John Brown expected there to be thousands of enslaved people to rise up and take up arms. His whole plan hinged on this. And he hoped this would help inspire people who escaped slavery to join his cause and form a, quote, army of emancipation. But again, this did not happen.
Damn.
So John Brown narrowly escaped death, actually. He was almost mortally wounded, but he was saved by his belt buckle.
Oh.
But the shit got beaten out of him for sure. The guy who almost stabbed him in the stomach with a bayonet started like hitting him in the head with the butt of his gun. So John Brown was not doing great. When he was arrested and he was imprisoned at Charlestown, Virginia, which is now West Virginia. The charges were read. When he had to attend court, he had to go in a cot because he could not walk because of his injuries. He was really having a bad time. So when he was indicted and read his charges, he responded while lying on the floor, quote, "If you seek my blood, you can have it any moment without this mockery of a trial," which I got from AmericanHistoryCentral.com. Yeah.
Damn. He was not fucking around.
He was not.
It's like, you're going to kill me, because this is a farce.
Yeah, it is a farce because he really believed in what he was doing. And he was like, because his charges were murder, treason, and inciting a slave insurrection were the charges he was faced with.
2 of those were true.
Yes, he did not incite a slave insurrection. And even though he tried in treason,
he do be killing people though.
He did storm a Federal Reserve, so that's a little treasonous. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on October 26, 1859, 600 people crowded his courtroom to watch his trial. I saw it was between 3.5 and 6 day long trial. When everything was said and done, the jury deliberated for 45 minutes.
Oh shit, that's quick.
That's no time at all. And he was found guilty of all 3 charges. So they had a recess. The sentencing was the end of the trial was October 30th. And then sentencing was on November 2nd. So he was brought back into court. And the judge asked him, "Do you have anything left to say?" And this is what he said. I got this from battlefields.org. It's also in a couple other sources. Quote, "If it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice, and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children, and with the blood of millions in the slave country whose rights are disregarded by wicked, cruel, and unjust enactments, I submit, so let it be done."
Damn, called them out.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Yeah. Yeah. And Judge Richard Parker sentenced him to hang in 1 month on December 2nd. So Mary Ann, his wife, actually got to see him the day before his hanging.
I feel so sorry for her.
I know. And she's lost so many children at this point, including her husband. So the next day, at the gallows, almost 2,000 people were there.
Wow.
And there were also armed guards from the Virginia Military Academy because they were worried that abolitionists would try to, set him free.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. That didn't happen. He did claim that he did not want to commit violence. His actions say otherwise.
It seemed to be his go-to.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. His last written words, because there's a delay in the noose and stuff. So while he was waiting, he gave a note to the jailer while he was just standing there. And this note said, "Charleston, Virginia, 2nd December of 1859. I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away but with blood. I had, as now I think, vainly flattered myself that without very much bloodshed it might be done." So he knows that the only way for slavery to be gone is for violence.
Yeah.
And at about 11:30 a.m. on December 2nd, 1859, he was hung until dead. And he was 59 years old. Do you want to know what's fucking insane?
Yes.
Guess who was you'll never guess who was at this hanging.
God, who now?
John Wilkes Booth.
No shit. Are you kidding me? What?
He watched this hanging. Also, Stonewall Jackson was there.
What? Did everyone show up? What?
Everyone was there. Everyone was there.
Everyone. He was like the celebrity of the day. He knew everyone. I'm shooketh.
Yeah. I also shat myself a little bit when I saw John Wilkes Booth was at John Brown's hanging.
The future murderer of
Yeah.
Of the guy that, you know, that Lincoln, he freed the slaves. You know, I know there was more to it than that, guys. But like the full circle moment I'm having right now. Whoa.
Yeah. It'll get a little more full circle in a minute. It's gonna.
How does it get more full circle? What in?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
So his wife Mary collects his remains, takes him to their farm in upstate New York where he's buried. His farm and gravesite are now National Historic Landmarks on the John Brown Farm State Historic Site.
We should go there.
We should. So, John Brown, the effects of his raid and his trial and his death ripple.
Yeah. Between
the abolitionist and pro-slavery movements. And there's, of course, different reactions. So abolitionists and anti-slavery proponents are they are supporting John Brown.
Yes.
They call him a martyr. He had a lot of support from like very public figures, including Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson. Henry David Thoreau had like a whole speech where he was like, he compared John Brown to Jesus. Like it was a lot. He was hailed as a hero by the abolitionists. The pro-slavery movement were very scared by John Brown. One, they felt he was a violent villain. But one of the South's and just pro-slavery people's biggest fear was a big slave insurrection.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 million enslaved people in the United States. If all of these people decide to join up arms, they're in for a bad time.
Yeah.
So the South immediately starts preparing for war.
Right.
Because they're terrified that there's going to be major aftershocks and resurrections or insurrections, revolts, rebellions. They're terrified of this. So his actions at Harper's Ferry continue to increase this division between abolitionists and anti-slavery supporters and pro-slavery supporters between the North and South. And this caused the different political parties to be shaken up as well. So the Democratic Party and the Republican Party were kind of a mess after all the stuff that happened with John Brown. And in a couple articles I read, it's believed that because of John Brown's actions, this caused like the events to fall into place where Abraham Lincoln could be elected as president.
Oh, shit.
Because he wasn't a favorite to win. They were actually expecting a Democrat to win this election. But because of all the stuff going on, and it shook everything up. And so a lot of people believe it's all of this turmoil that's happening in the U.S.
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah.
Oh, that ripple effect, like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly. And less than a year later, from John Brown's death, the first Southern state seceded from the Union, South Carolina. And 11 states total ended up seceding, which led to the American Civil War, which...
Ooh.
So there's a quote that I saw that said the raid was the, quote, flame that helped ignite the American Civil War. And maybe John Brown got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Because the land would be purged by blood.
Yes.
Because there were over 750,000 casualties in the American Civil War. And at the end of which, slavery was abolished.
You know, it really makes you think that, like, how different the path would have, because I believe in my heart we would have gotten to where slavery was abolished. We were getting there regardless. But had that insurrection worked and it sparked insurrection, would we have not even had a civil war? And the insurrection would have been what freed the slaves.
Maybe. And I also saw that if he had died at Harper's Ferry and never gone to trial, there probably wouldn't have been the ripple effects. Like, a Democrat may have won this election and Abraham Lincoln wouldn't have been elected. Right. He wouldn't have been martyred. Abraham Lincoln may not have been elected president. And there would have been no American Civil War in the first place. And who knows when emancipation would have happened.
Right. It might have taken longer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's really crazy.
And for all these key figures to just be in and out of his life, like...
I know. It's
weird.
It's crazy.
Oh, I keep getting chills. Like, it's weird. Because think of the chances. The United States is humongous. And this is a time where you can't call up a buddy. If you want to send a letter, it took forever. Like, what are the chances of him running into, crossing paths, meeting all of these people?
I know. Or at least them seeing him.
Yeah.
You know.
Just their universes intersected. That's so weird.
It's crazy. Also, I saw this during the Civil War. And actually, his oldest son, John Brown Jr., was a captain of the Company K of the 7th Kansas Cavalry for the Union during the war. Owen did manage to escape all the violence. But Union soldiers sang a song called John Brown's Body that would later become the tune for the battle hymn of the Republic.
What?
Yeah.
Is everything we do just based off of John Brown?
I guess so. He is the fixed point in this universe.
What is it? Is it like 7 degrees from, what is it, Kevin Bacon or whatever?
Yeah,
it's like we're all
John
7
Brown.
degrees from John Brown.
Yeah.
What?
Craziness. And the last thing I'll leave you on, he believed all of his life that God had called him to end slavery. And slavery ended 6 years after his death.
Wow. And he was the first domino. Wow. I'm speechless. There's not a lot of times that I'm speechless, but I don't know what to say.
I have a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the same boat as you, you know, like I am very, of course, anti-slavery.
Yes.
I work to be as anti-racist as possible. Like I'm so thankful that the events happened in the way they did so we could be here. And at the same time, I don't agree with violence. I don't agree with...
Yes.
But I also know that, like, violence will happen when people are pushed to a certain extent.
I agree. Yes.
And the violence was already happening against people who were enslaved.
Yeah.
You know, they were undergoing unimaginable horrors every single day. So, like, I understand it for sure. And I was researching this and I was like, oh my, like, I can't even really, like, tell you how I feel about all of this.
It's so complicated. I was just thinking before you said that he's such a complicated, and we say that a lot about people, that
people are complicated.
But people are complicated, and he is probably top 10 complicated, because you can agree with what he's doing it for. But sometimes you can't agree with the tactics, but then at the same time, like you said, you can, because sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. That's the only way it works. And like, you can debate and you can speak your opinion and you can change people's minds till you're blue in the face. And sometimes it just doesn't work to get real change. And I hate to see that violence actually worked this time. Because I don't want that. But it
Right.
did. It did
Yeah.
work. In a roundabout way.
Yeah. Well, and like, you know, the states seceded and the U.S. was like, no, you can't do that. You're part of the Union. And the Civil War happened. And we've said it before and we'll say it again. The Civil War was about slavery. You can kiss my butt.
Yeah. Come at
Don't
us.
get on to me about states' rights. States' rights for what? States' rights for what?
For what?
States' rights.
What were you fighting about? What were you wanting to do that the union was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. It was states' rights for slavery. And
Yeah.
that's bad. That's wrong. Slavery's
Don't
wrong.
do that. So wrong.
There's not a single situation where I'll say, yeah, slavery was a good thing. No.
No.
It's not.
Not once. Thank you for this.
Look at that. We're right at about hour 15.
Look at you. You timed it perfect. You know, we know our notes.
Yeah. You're very welcome for this.
Oh, God.
I've been thinking about John Brown for a little while. I've heard his name, and actually I was confusing him with James Brown for a while, and they're two very different people.
Very.
And I went to go look up John Brown. I accidentally typed in James Brown. I was like, oh, that's not the one.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. And I've heard of him, and I feel like he's come up like in passing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about him. What little I knew is that he was violent and he was anti-slavery, and I didn't know any other details.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to research him.
People were putting in, I love to see stories like this of people that I don't know, and it's people putting in the work to stand up for the greater good.
Yeah.
In whatever chaotic way they have to do that.
Yeah. And that is something that has helped, because with everything going on in the world, there's times I feel absolutely hopeless and helpless. Yes. And I'm like, what can I do? And I try to help in my own little ways, but I'm just me. I don't have infinity dollars and power. I wish. The world would be a lot different.
Yeah, seriously.
But then I see the people who want to hurt other people and want to hurt the environment for their own gain, and it makes me so sad. And people who exploit others for their own gain, it makes me so sad. And then stories will come out of people fighting pushing the systems, pushing back against the exploitation and the violence. And
yeah,
I'm like, okay, there are people, and like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers.
Yes.
Maybe not the ones that drag 5 unarmed people out of their house at night and stab them to death with swords. Maybe not those kind of helpers.
Yeah. Yeah, that was problematic.
Yeah.
Oof.
But other helpers that are,
Yeah. That's you said that beautifully. Still speechless. I don't know what else to say.
Well, let's move on to socials.
Okay.
So we can wrap
That's
this
fair.
up.
You can find us on Facebook,
Ill-Equipped History Podcast Group and Page.
TikTok,
at Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail,
ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
Instagram,
at Ill-Equipped History.
and Patreon.
Patreon.com/ill-equippedhistory. Our most recent bonus episode was about food disasters.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. It was very fascinating.
Horrifying.
Horrifying, a little humorous in
Yes.
a couple.
Yes.
Very tragic in
a couple.
all.
Did you realize I didn't until later that both of mine was just alcohol. So, oops.
Well, both of mine could be used to make alcohol. So,
yes.
well,
Yes.
no. Flour? No. Flour doesn't make alcohol. But molasses does. So we did
You can make beer bread.
That's true. There's, let's see, we did the Great Beer Flood, the Great Molasses Flood, the Great Whiskey Fire, and the Washburn Mill Explosion.
Yes. Yes.
So
crazy, horrifying.
We both discovered researching that, like, there are a lot more food disasters that have happened in history.
Yeah. Food bites back a lot, actually, as it turns out.
Yes. So maybe we'll do a part 2 sometime in the future. Yeah. But if you're interested, please consider subscribing to our Patreon for $5 a month to get access to our monthly bonus episodes. And you have until tomorrow, if you're a Patreon subscriber, to use the link for 20% off a t-shirt that centers around our spooky trip this year.
And if you don't see a link, there's actually not a link. I just can look and see if they're a Patreon member. Just message us if you want a shirt.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Tell us you're a Patreon member. I'll verify it and give you 20% off.
Yes, and if you're not a Patreon member and you want a shirt, still message us so we can make sure that you get your shirt. You just have to pay full price. Yeah,
and that price does include the shirt, shipping, tax, all of it. Because I'm not messing with that. So it's that much money. I send you things. Okay?
Okay. Yay! So please order our merch and hopefully more merch to come in the future.
Yeah. Fight for your right, not just a party, but like
I was literally thinking that. I was about to comment. You beat me by like 2 seconds.
But fight for the right of everyone around you.
Yes.
Even if the government says no, because that's not a good indicator of what is right and what is wrong sometimes. Okay?
Yeah, as we know in our environment today, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Fuck ICE.
Fuck ICE.
We are anti-fascism here on this podcast.
Yeah. Yes. We don't like mean people. So if you're meanie, go away.
Just go away, you meanie.
Go away.
You meanie, you meanie poopy stink face.
Such a butthead.
All right, we're really tired, so we're gonna go now.
Yes.
Okay, bye.